pay for this. Somebody's got to make compensation to the victim, and somebody's got to make sure that the police department doesn't act like this again.
Outrage continues to grow in another developing story that we've been following for the past 2 weeks. The morning of July 27th, while responding to a reported theft in progress, Escambia County deputies opened fire on Roy Middleton in his own front yard. Our Michael Brandon visited a Pensacola church today where civil rights leaders are calling on Sheriff David Morgan to make amends.
They don't even care about you.
Spirited discussion today at the Greater True Vine Baptist Church. Activists and citizens alike took aim, case by case by case, at what they call a history of excessive force within the Escambia County Sheriff's Office.
The notion is that the NAACP wants to find out what the relationship between the police and the community is, and from the testimonies we've heard, it's not a good relationship.
The meeting comes in response to Roy Middleton's encounter with Deputy Jeremiah Meeks and Sergeant Matthew White last month. That encounter sent an unarmed Middleton to the hospital with gunshot wounds. People are not only angry about the shooting, but also with the sheriff, David Morgan, and his feelings about the incident, as he told Fox 10 News last week.
You believe an innocent man was shot?
Well, you know, innocence is a hard term to define in this. Mr. Middleton was engaged in activity which would lead a reasonable person to believe. We had an individual that was engaging in a potential vehicle theft and or car burglary. And so, again, we respond a certain way to those crimes in progress.
This seems to be among the most egregious things I've ever heard of. Somebody's got to pay for this.
Cheryl Miles is Roy Middleton's little sister. She says the family is still in shock.
We just want justice. It's a hard thing to go through, but with God, we're making it.
She says two things need to be done.
Respect people, especially in their home, and just do the things that the authority need to do the correct way. Instead of assuming, find out before they just start shooting.
It is amazing that public servants, paid for by the taxpayers' dollar, wouldn't be here to say, well, we didn't do that, or we did do it, we're sorry, we won't do it again, or we're taking steps to make sure that this thing doesn't happen that way again. It's amazing that they're not here. And you wonder, where are they and why aren't they here?
In Pensacola, Michael Brandon, Fox 10 News.
Now, Sergeant White and Deputy Meeks have been placed on administrative leave pending a state investigation of the shooting. Sheriff David Morgan did not respond to our request for comment, but he did have some words for organizers of today's events. In part, he said, quote, "I would have hoped for you to have the patience to permit a full and complete investigation before jumping to perhaps erroneous conclusions and making inflammatory statements." He also addressed accusations that the shooting was racially motivated, saying in part, quote, "From January 2009 to August 6, 2013, deputy sheriffs have responded to more than 1.3 million calls for service. In this same period, we've received a total of 24 complaints of racial profiling or harassment or discrimination." Sheriff Morgan also confirmed that Deputy Meeks was already disciplined twice since April for crashing a patrol car and failing to turn in evidence during a drug case. Stay with Fox 10 News and fox10tv.com for all the latest on this developing story.